You know that Silverado you saw at the junkyard last week? Blown engine, destroyed transmission, shot suspension? I bet the owner made at least 3 of the 5 mistakes I'm about to show you today. And the worst part, these are mistakes that 90% of Silverado owners make without even realizing they're literally throwing money in the trash. Look, I've seen Silverados with 600,000 miles running like new, and I've seen others with 80,000 completely destroyed. The difference? It's not luck, it's knowledge. My uncle had a shop specializing in GM trucks for 30 years. He taught me that a Silverado is like a workhorse. Treat it right, it'll carry you for life. Mistreat it, and it'll leave you stranded at the worst possible moment. And if you want your Silverado to last longer than your marriage, subscribe to the channel now because here we don't sugarcoat what really destroys these machines. Mistake number 1, ignoring transmission fluid change intervals. This right here is the #1 silent killer of Silverados. GM says the transmission fluid is lifetime. You know what that means? It lasts the lifetime of the transmission, not the truck. And guess how long a transmission lasts with old fluid? 150,000 miles if you're lucky. Transmission fluid isn't just a lubricant. It's the blood of the hydraulic system, the coolant for internal components, and what keeps the clutches working. When it ages, it gets full of metal particles, loses viscosity, and literally cooks your transmission from the inside. True story. I met a guy in Denver who bought a 2011 Silverado with 120,000 miles. Beautiful on the outside. Great price. First thing he did? Changed the transmission fluid that was black as coffee. 2 weeks later, dead transmission. $4,800 down the drain. Why? The old fluid was the only thing holding the worn clutches in place. The golden rule: change the fluid every 50,000 miles, no matter what GM says. And never flush a transmission with over 100,000 miles without history. Use the drain and fill method. Yes, it takes longer, but it's that or pay $5,000 for a new transmission. Mistake number 2, using wrong oil or extending changes too long. But the manual says I can go 10,000 miles between changes. Sure, and GM also said the 5.3 engine with AFM was reliable. How'd that work out? These Vortec engines are robust, but they have an Achilles heel: the AFM system, active fuel management. When you use wrong oil or leave it too long, the AFM solenoids stick. Result? Oil consumption, cylinder failure, and worst case, blown engine. Even in engines without AFM, old oil turns to sludge, clogs oil galleries, destroys bearings, and causes premature timing chain wear. I've seen a 6.0 Vortec with only 180,000 miles need a complete rebuild because the owner was saving money on oil changes. Always use synthetic 5W, 30, or 0W20 according to your year/model. Dexa's certified, not that generic Walmart crap. And change it every 5,000 miles if you tow, or 7,500 max in normal use. But that's expensive. You know what's more expensive? A new engine. $8,000. Versus $50 of good oil every few months. Do the math. Mistake number 3, ignoring the cooling system. This mistake has destroyed more Silverado engines than all the others combined. The cooling system is treated like it's eternal. Spoiler, it's not. Coolant isn't just colored water. It's a chemical cocktail that prevents corrosion, lubricates the water pump, and maintains pH balance. When it ages, it turns acidic. Literally corrodes the engine from inside. Eats head gaskets, destroys radiators, and causes that classic problem: oil mixing with water. But the worst part isn't even the fluid. It's the hoses. 2007 to 2013 Silverados especially have a heater hose that runs under the intake manifold. When it bursts, and it will burst after 100,000 miles, you lose all coolant in minutes. Engine overheats. Head warps. $6,000 repair. My cousin ignored a small leak for 3 months. Oh, I'll just top off the fluid. Result? Engine seized on the highway. Rod went through the block. Silverado became scrap metal. Simple solution: change coolant every 2 years or 50,000 miles. Inspect hoses at every oil change. See drying or cracking. Replace immediately. $100 in hoses or $8,000 for a new engine. You choose. Mistake number 4. Poorly done modifications, especially lifts. Everyone wants a badass Silverado with giant tires and lifted suspension. But 80% do it wrong and destroy the truck in the process. A bad lift isn't just about aesthetics. It changes all the driveline angles, forces CV joints beyond their limits, destroys wheel bearings, ruins suspension geometry, and the worst part, overloads the differential. Saw a beautiful 2014 Silverado, lifted 6 inches, 35-inch tires. Owner spent $8,000 on the modification. 6 months later, destroyed differential, broken drive shaft, ruined steering box. Total damage, $12,000. And it's not just lifts. Poorly installed power chips fry ECUs. 2 open exhausts cause back pressure problems. Cheap LEDs burn electrical modules. Every modification has consequences. If you're going to modify, do it right. Use quality kits. Recalibrate the computer. Adjust driveline angles. Reinforce components that will take more stress. Or better yet, buy a Silverado that comes prepared from factory, like the Trail Boss or at 4. Cheaper in the end. Mistake number 5. Neglecting dashboard warning lights. 6:45 to 8 o'clock. Oh, it's just a sensor. This phrase has cost more Silverado engines than war in the Middle East. That check engine light you've been ignoring for 3 months? Could be a $100 O2 sensor. Or it could be the AFM system warning it's about to destroy your engine. Oil pressure light flickering? Must be the sensor. Until the day the engine seizes on the road because it ran out of lubrication. Real case. Customer came to my uncle's shop with a 2009 Silverado. There's been a light on for 6 months, but it runs fine. It was the coolant temperature sensor. Faulty. Engine had been overheating for months without him knowing. Destroyed head gasket, warped head, micro cracks in the block. Total engine loss. Every warning exists for a reason. GM doesn't put lights on the dash for fun. It's the truck screaming that something's wrong. Ignoring it is like driving with your eyes closed. You're going to crash. It's just a matter of when. Buy a basic OBD2 scanner. $30 on Amazon. Light came on? Scan immediately. Research the code. If you don't understand, take it to a mechanic the same day. $100 for diagnosis or $10,000 for a new engine. The choice is always yours. Look, the Silverado is one of the most reliable pickups ever built. But reliable doesn't mean indestructible. These 5 mistakes I showed today are responsible for 90% of Silverados that die before their time. The good news? They're all preventable. Preventive maintenance costs a fraction of the repair. And if you take care of it right, your Silverado will pass from father to son and still to the grandson. Which of these mistakes have you made? Or know someone who destroyed a Silverado like this? Comment down below because I want to hear these horror stories. And if this video can save someone's Silverado, share it now. Next week, I'm going to show you the 5 upgrades that are really worth it for your Silverado. Spoiler, one of them costs less than $50 and can save your engine. Until then, take care of that machine.